Greetings everyone. Welcome to Footprints. In this video, we will see about Mexico's rich cultural heritage, the musical genre of mariachi. Mariachi is a genre of regional Mexican music that dates back to at least the 18th century, evolving over time in the countryside of various regions of western Mexico. The usual mariachi group today consists of as many as 8 violins, 2 trumpets and at least 1 guitar, including a high-pitched vihuela and an acoustic bass guitar called a guitarrón, and all players taking turns singing lead and doing backup vocals. It is typically characterized by a small group of musicians dressed in traditional clothing who perform a wide repertoire of Mexican songs on mostly stringed instruments. The term mariachi can refer to either the music or the musicians themselves. During a session held the week of November 22, 2011, UNESCO inscribed mariachi on its representative list of the intangible cultural heritage of humanity. From the 19th to 20th century, migrations from rural areas into Guadalajara, along with the Mexican government's cultural promotion, gradually relabeled it as Sun style, with its alternative name of mariachi, becoming used for the urban form. Modifications of the music include influences from other music such as polkas and waltzes, the addition of trumpets and the use of charro outfits by mariachi musicians. The musical style began to take on national prominence in the first half of the 20th century, with its promotion at presidential inaugurations and on the radio in the 1920s. The mariachi tradition was born in west-central Mexico around the turn of the 19th century, though its exact origins remain unknown. At first, the genre was strictly instrumental, composed of the sounds of stringed instruments, and eventually vocals and the trumpet were added to the mix. In modern times, mariachi music has been combined with elements of diverse genres from jazz to reggae. Singers often add in their best grito to express the emotion of the vibrant music. No matter the variation, mariachi remains a strong representation of Mexican history and culture. Prior to the arrival of the Spanish, Indigenous music was played with rattles, drums, flutes, and conch-shell horns as part of religious celebrations. The Spanish introduced violins, guitars, harps, brass instruments, and woodwinds, which mostly replaced the native instruments. The Europeans introduced their instruments to use during Mass, but they were quickly adapted to secular events. Indigenous and mestizo peoples learned to play and make these instruments, often giving them modified shapes and tunings. In addition to instruments, the Spanish introduced the concept of musical groups, which in the colonial period, generally consisted of 2 violins, a harp, and various guitars. This grouping gave rise to a number of folk musical styles in Mexico. One of these folk musical styles was the son. This music featured string instruments. Son music divided into various regional varieties. The variety popular in the Jalisco area was called Sunjaliscians, whose best-known song, also referred to as the mariachi national anthem, is La Negra. Modern mariachi music developed from this son style, with mariachi as an alternative name for Sunjaliscians. Early mariachi players did not look like those of today. They played only string instruments such as guitars and harps, and dressed in typical peasant clothing, white pants, and shirts with huarache sandals. Those who could play the sonjalaciones/mariachi music could find work at haciendas, at a higher rate than those who could not. The size of a mariachi group varies depending on the availability of musicians. The usual mariachi group today consists of as many as 8 violins, 2 trumpets and at least 1 guitar. Traditional mariachi guitars include the vihuela, a high-pitched, round-backed guitar that provides rhythm, and a bass guitar called a guitarrón, which also provides rhythm. Sometimes a Mexican folk harp provides bass and ornaments the melody. All are Mexican variations of European instruments. There is generally no lead singer as in other kinds of group, with all players singing choruses and taking turns singing the lead. Often the lead singer is assigned to a certain song due to voice qualities. Mariachi vocalization shows influences from a number of styles such as bolero, a romantic style, huapango, using falsetto, sonjalaciones, an aggressive style, and more. Voices must be strong to be heard over amplified instruments. Vocal style emphasizes operatic qualities and instrumental performance, demonstrates a level of virtuosity that reflects advanced musical training. Historically, mariachi groups have been made up of men, but there is growing acceptance of female mariachis. As mariachi groups are expected to play requests, they may need to know hundreds of different songs. Most songs are about machismo, love, betrayal, death, politics, revolutionary heroes, and even animals and country life, from the genre origins as rural sun music. One particularly famous song is La Cucaracha, the cockroach. Most mariachi groups are associated with family and religious celebrations along with serenades. One of the most common pieces played by mariachis is Las Mañanitas for birthdays and celebrations of patron saints. In Mexico, mariachi music can also be found as part of Catholic Mass. The Misa Panamericana is a mariachi folk mass sung in Spanish, with new arrangements of classic hymns such as Kyrie eleison. This innovation began in 1966 by Canadian priest Jean-Marc Leclerc, and it moved from a small church to the Cuernavaca Cathedral. Cielito Lindo. More than just music, Cielito Lindo, which roughly translates from Spanish as lovely sweet one, is a symbol of Mexican pride and community. The mariachi band is depicted playing the staple instruments of the musical genre, including the guitarrón, a 6-string bass, vihuela, a 5-string guitar, violin, trumpet, and harp, and wearing traditional trajes de charro suits. Thank you all for watching this video. If you like this video, subscribe to Footprints for more videos.